Hi, it's Nathan again. I wanted to do a close-up on this guitar, show you a little bit of what I put into this 5-string fretless bass. And it's just interesting to see how some people do the neck-through construction and all of that. So this is a neck-through bass, which means that the back has a solid piece of maple. The neck goes all the way down to the bottom. And it's all one solid piece. A lot of times, right here, on this part of the neck, you've sort of got a splice because people want to conserve wood, and they sort of splice on another piece diagonally to make the head part of the neck. But I didn't. This is all one solid continuous piece all the way from the top to the bottom, and that took a pretty thick piece of wood, 2.5 inches, to make. Probably not the most efficient way, but it got the job done and it was really pretty. This right here is the control plate, and I didn't apply any oil finish to it. So it's more of the color of the wood directly after I sanded it, and then you can see the color of the wood once you put a little bit of oil finish on it. I use Danish oil. I think it's a pretty good oil finish to use. Right here you can see where my veneer meets with the maple. So from the very front, this all looks like it's one solid piece of Padauk. From the back, it looks like it's 3 stripes. And you can only tell by looking at the bottom how I did that veneer. So that's kind of a fun way to look at it. It's just an 1/8 inch thick piece that I used and glued on to the top of the neck before I glued the sides on. And it matches pretty seamlessly from the front. But yeah, this was a fun project to work on, and I really like how the frets turned out. In my opinion, the Cocobolo fretboard is the most interesting part of it to look at. It's just such an interesting grain on the Cocobolo wood, and you can see the Padauk stripes that I put for the frets.
Show it from the side.
What do you mean, like
so
this way?
You can see that it's flat.
What do you mean see that it's
They're
flat?
just inlays, they're not actual frets.
Well, they're not actual frets, but yeah, I put them where the frets would be.
Yeah.
Just little slabs of wood. Anyways, the thing I was most disappointed in my workmanship and my craftsmanship was I had to make my own template to fit these bridges in, and I used a router bit, and I didn't cut it very precisely around the edges, so that was something I was a little bit disappointed in myself. I generally now either use a pre-made template that's cut out of plexiglass, or I just spend more time to make it look better, and I was disappointed in how it's a little rough around the edges, but unless you look closely, you'd never see it. I also really like these tape wound strings. If you're a bass player and you play an upright bass, you'll know what tape wound strings are as opposed to round wound strings, and it just sounds a lot more like a jazzy or upright bass sound. So anyways, that is my 5-string fretless bass.
Should play a little ditty.
I don't really want to play right now.
Come on.
No.
You're boring.